Hi, everybody. I'm Melinda Gallant, and I want to welcome you to another Cape Conversations. We've got a great conversation with a wonderful person that I've known for a long time, and she is head of the Visitor Services Bureau. Visitor Services Board, that's what it is, not bureau, it's board. And she's going to tell us what they do, why they're here, why they get money from the town, and how they're helping our community. So come along, let's have another Cape Conversation. Oh my gosh, I am back in the studio with a wonderful person by the name of Heidi Trottier. Heidi,
nice to see
how are you? And you're chairman of the VSB.
I am. Been
so
a few
exciting.
Years. Yeah.
So, okay, I was on the VSB, so I know about it. But talk to me like I'm a second grader resident of Sandwich.
Oh, okay.
And explain to me, what does VSB stand for, first
Visitor
of all?
Service Bureau, a board, Visitor Service Board. There is 7 of us on the committee.
Oh, nice.
Made up of different people in the community.
Uh-huh.
So there's people at large, residents.
Mm-hmm.
I represent the Sandwich Chamber of Commerce because I'm past president of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's people from the hospitality.
Oh, nice.
There is people that are actually, what do I want to say, they're from nonprofit organizations like Kathy Aubin from Sandwich Arts Alliance.
Oh, yeah.
She's
sure.
on the board.
Sure.
And then what it is that the room and sales tax that the town and the state receive, part of that portion goes to the Visitor Service Board, which we then are requested from different nonprofits in town to help them with beautification and promoting the town and for tourism of the town.
Wonderful.
So it goes back into the town, but that sales tax is from the room tax.
So you work in cooperation or collaboration with these other organizations, for instance, the Chamber of Commerce?
Well, the Chamber of Commerce actually is a recipient of part of the Visitors Board funds.
Oh, okay.
The Canal Chamber is also, too, a recipient because they actually have a tourist information booth right over the Sagamore Bridge.
Right.
Which, of course, people follow that right to Sandwich. And they stop at our Sandwich Chamber office and get information. So it goes to the 2 chambers. They get a separate piece, which that just went into active with the government. They had to pass a whole new legislation with that. And then the the VSB then gets the other portion of it.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
Good.
So
we don't think about us. I mean, we have the Daniel Webster Inn and we have the 6A hotel.
Yep.
And then there's another one on 6A. So if it's rooms tax, right? And meals or just rooms?
It's rooms tax and Airbnb, which that
that's
changed
huge.
differently during COVID. So the sales tax went up like this.
Right.
So each organization, the chambers, the VSB, as well as the town gets a portion of that tax money too for different reasons. But it went up when the Airbnb then had to be taxable.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's just not those few motels, which originally it was.
Well, yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Airbnb kind of came in, slid under the radar, and poor hotels were paying for everything.
Exactly.
Well, then that's a good thing.
Yeah.
So what are the kinds of things that you support?
One of them is the Sandwich Arts Alliance. One of them is the Women's Gardens Club.
Oh, really? Here in town?
In town.
Oh, great.
Actually, we had our meeting, a VSB meeting yesterday, and they are working on a project where the Oakcrest Field is, where the rec department is?
Yeah.
They have a kind of a old, funky kind of garden in front of the building down at Oakcrest.
Yeah.
And they are renovating this with the nights. They're going to have a pollinating tour.
Oh, wow.
They're going to put irrigation in it so things, of course, don't die. So they came to see us yesterday to get funds to make this garden work.
Oh, how wonderful.
Yeah.
Cool.
Besides that, the Sandwich Little League, we do. The best part is the Boy Scouts. If there's one that's looking for a badge, he needs to get a badge, whether he's an Eagle Scout. So they do some things, renovating docks and gardens, the community gardens.
Wow.
So these young kids from the Sandwich community asked us for funds to build something like they made a raised garden for handicap at the community garden. So
wow.
we get funds for that.
Oh, that is really cool.
Yeah.
That's terrific. How long have you lived in Sandwich?
since 1982.
Oh my gosh.
I met my husband, Coast Guard.
So you are kind of like me. You slept in Sandwich, but you did all your work in Mashpee, right?
Yes, I did.
I was never home. For 16 years, I was never home.
And I live on the town line of Sandwich and Mashpee, too.
Well, at least you were closer.
Yeah. So I owned a business in Mashpee for 40 years. I just retired.
Oh my
About
gosh,
a year and a half ago.
congratulations. Yeah.
But my business was auto repair, so I actually had customers from Sandwich, Mashpee, Katuah, Velma. So I was in that central zone.
Yeah, Upper Cape, all the Upper Cape.
Yeah, so I was very familiar with Sandwich residents.
Yeah.
But I didn't really know about how I could get involved. So I joined the Sandwich Chamber of Commerce. Fast track, I was past president, and then I was asked to do the VSB.
Well, you were president of the Mashpee Chamber right now.
Yes, I was.
Right, as well.
Yeah, back
I
in our
remember that.
days when we
Back
were...
in our days, yes, the old days.
Yeah, yeah.
The ancient days is what I call them. You know, it's so
Yeah.
funny because people will say something, I'll go, well, back in, and I have to hold, I
Yeah.
have to say, no.
That was just a couple of years ago.
Yeah, one long ago. Yeah.
Yeah,
So.
but because I enjoy interacting with our local businesses,
Mm-hmm.
that's why I enjoy the Chambers of Commerce, because I just see so much change and growth, and I actually love to mentor other businesses to say, yeah, these are the faults I made, or these are the
Yeah,
good things
sure,
that I did.
sure.
And that's what I hope to bring to the VSB, that these nonprofits can, really establish like a new garden at the
Sure.
Oak Crest Cove, and people can go
Sure.
and enjoy that. You know?
Sure.
And the Sandwich Little League, which everyone thinks that the town actually, gives them money to do the Sandwich Little League. They do it all by themselves.
Wow.
It's all the sponsorships and everything. So we helped put the little light bulbs in the lights
Oh,
way
yeah.
up because they were ancient. We did irrigation for them. We put a new fence up for them, and that's what they got a couple of years ago.
Oh, wow,
Yeah.
that's great.
Yeah.
So I know you mentioned the Canal Chamber of Commerce. Maria Oliva is the head of the Canal Chamber of Commerce.
Yep.
So you work with them as well.
We do through the VSB basically. So the VSB is requested by Marie for funds to help maintain that tourist office over the Sagamore Bridge.
Okay, that's the tourist office that's next to the McDonald's.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
It's- It was a brand-new building built by the state, I believe.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's very
And they're
nice.
open only seasonal, so right before Memorial Day, and they usually close around Columbus Day,
I see.
October 1st, 2nd.
So if you're a member of the VSB, I suppose if you're a member of the Sandwich Chamber, you could put your brochures in there
Yep.
and
Oh,
things like
definitely,
that.
yeah.
Okay.
Marie strongly urges anybody who is a chamber member can
Sure.
bring their information, and same as Sandwich Chamber.
Yeah.
They kind of reciprocate.
Sure. Oh,
Yeah.
that's good. That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Well, you said 7 members. Who else is on this committee?
Um,
I mean, is it anybody who's anybody?
Kathy Aubin.
Kathy Aubin. Well, she is
She's my
the woman
angel.
about. She's the woman about town.
She is my angel. She's my secretary.
Yeah. Oh, God, love her.
Yep. I have Carol Hansen. She was the owner of the Sandy Neck Motel. She just retired.
Oh my gosh.
So she's staying on board because she loves the VSB so much. This is like, she said, I can give money that doesn't belong to me, but I can give it to other people.
Did they sell the Sandy Neck?
They did.
Oh my
They
gosh.
did, but I think she says it's going more into like an Airbnb type of thing.
Yeah.
She's kind of disappointed, but
Yeah.
she loved that motel.
I mean, she was there for years.
Actually, she was fairly new.
Oh,
so
I didn't realize
maybe 6 to 8.
Oh wow, I didn't
Yeah,
realize it had
6 to
changed
8
hands.
years.
It'd been there a lot. It's been there forever.
But she renovated that place so well
Yeah.
with her business partner and stuff. But it's a really nice little place. now.
No, that's great.
So, and then we have Heather. Heather actually works with the Heritage Gardens. Her last name, I think last name is Mead. So
Oh, Heather Mead, I know
yeah,
Heather.
so
Sure.
Heather's on our board. And then we have Daryl. Memory lapse today. Daryl.
That's okay, I'm sorry.
She does the bike. He's on one of the bike passes.
Oh, wonderful.
Crossman. Daryl
Oh,
Crossman.
oh yeah.
And we have, when you see across the street from their table, then all
Yeah.
of a sudden the bike goes by.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to put you on
That's
the
okay. But all of them have been related to the town
Okay.
and everything.
And they all live in the
Yeah.
town.
Oh, Bev Como.
Oh, sure, Bev. I'm going to see Bev at lunch
Yeah,
today.
Bev is in real estate, of course, and Reverend Tina from First Church.
Oh my gosh.
She's a real help because she knows other nonprofits in town that kind of need our help, which some of them we've never heard of. So Reverend Tina's on board.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
She's a nice person. Very nice person.
She is.
So how long have you been the chairman?
4 or 5 years. No one wants the jobs.
That happened to me too.
4 or 5 years. And I think Daryl's been on my board for a while. Kathy has. And the other people are fairly new. Carol's been on it a couple of years maybe.
Yeah.
But the other ones, and Heather's new.
So if you wanted to be on the board, what would you do? Just apply to the town?
Yeah, contact me. And then you have to write a little letter of what your, I don't want to say your expertise is, but why you want to be on the VSB.
So is your name on the town website somewhere?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
So the same thing, if you wanted to ask us for a grant, I call them grants, for funds from us.
Yeah, it would be a grant, right?
Yep. Go on the town website, there's a link, and you fill out the registration form or a request form for a grant. Who, what, and where, how much you're looking for. You have to give me some ideas of quotes of what you're looking for. Submit it to me, we put you on the agenda for our next meeting, and then you come in and you meet our committee. We kind of chat with you and find out what that project is about, and then the committee talks about it and decide what we're going to do. Give all the money, give partial money. Type of thing.
Wonderful. Well, how much money do you think you've given out over the past few years?
Oh my gosh.
Is there a number every year you give out?
No, well, because the sales tax fluctuates.
Oh, sure.
So we don't get the same amount.
So during COVID, it went down.
No, during COVID, it went up.
Now, why did it go up?
Airbnb.
Oh, I see, because that's when they included Airbnb. Yeah. I get it.
So because the calendar year in the town goes from July 1 to June 30th, we get our next, say, big check from the town, and that starts July 1. So whatever's left from the year before rolls in.
Oh, it does roll over.
So if we have a couple $1,000s or whatever, that rolls in. So it's a constant rolling. But I think we've probably given, in my 4 or 5 years, $150,000, $200,000.
Wow, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
And people in town don't even know that.
Unfortunately, I think a great majority of people don't know about it. It's kind of a little mystery, the VSB is, and we try to go out and, it's like the committee, we go out, we're like little ants. We go out and tell people, hey, do you know, or someone comes to us.
Sure.
Well, one of them was the Historical Commission, the little plaques that go on the old history houses in town.
On the houses, yeah.
They came to us a couple of years ago, and we gave them grant money to make all the new plaques over again.
Oh my gosh.
So anything like history related, they're coming back to us to hopefully do a...
How about the archives? Do they come to you?
No.
Huh.
The Glass Cultural does.
Okay.
They've come to us to help us, the glass statue that Michael Maggio, to help with that.
And by the way, that's a piece of public art. That's why I was asking if the executive director of the television station was here today, because I drove by it today, and the sun, although kind of cloudy, the sun just was hitting it just right. It was the most beautiful looking little statues sitting there,
and
all that glass.
It changes from the weather, like you said.
It's crazy. Yeah. I hope they don't move it. I hope they leave it there.
I hope so too. It's a good spot.
It's a wonderful spot for it.
Because so many people walk there.
Yeah, and it's
to enjoy it.
It's quite lovely. It really is, and it's definitely a great addition. So you gave money for that.
Yep.
That's great.
Yep. We gave money for that, and the history we did, and I can't think of the name because this was a couple of years ago. On I have to get my bearings. Quaker Meeting House Road, where the Forestell Elementary School is. So you take Quaker Meeting House Road. On the left-hand side, there's a plaque, and it's a monument, a trail that a person back in time made this trail, and it's all about his history, but we actually sponsored the sign that goes there. That gets used a lot. Not many people knew about that.
Really?
And I didn't, as I was... So when the person came to us to ask for that money, it was like, that's what that is.
Yeah.
So, we try to help with the trail parks in town,
Oh, that's great.
Like that.
Oh, and you mentioned the bike path.
Yep.
Which they're working on bike path. I think the money's coming from the state, though.
Right.
Along the service road.
Yeah.
They're working on that now.
We were asked by Bev Como, who's somebody on the Historical Commission. They want to make a walking app. So the walking app will probably Mike be part of the bike path. So let's say that you're down on Tupper Road, and there'll be a town crier board, and they'll have like little pamphlets with the walking path, but there'll also be a thing for the bike path. So where does the bike path go?
Oh, I see.
So they'll come to us for the money for those pamphlets.
I see. I see.
Yeah.
Well, there's always been a walking tour of Sandwich thing. I don't know whether the gentleman who used to do it is still doing it.
Yeah. Bill Daly?
No, Dave something, but I can't.
Okay.
You and I are good on names today, aren't we? Oh, gosh, we should have done our homework.
I know.
I should have done my homework. But he used to come. But I've always thought we should have a QR code.
That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, there should be on every single town crier board. There should be a big QR code. You take a picture of it, and I'll tell you where you are, why you're there, and where you can go from here.
Yeah. Speaking of town crier boards, this was part of our meeting yesterday. So there's two different types of signs in town. It's the town crier board.
Right.
So if you're at the town hall.
And then there's the ladder boards.
The ladder board. So
those are events, though.
Yeah, those are community events. So we were determining who maintains them, takes care of them, because one fell over during the storm a couple months ago. Of course, I get the phone calls saying, town crier board fell over. So, so as I'm doing my homework, the town crier boards were actually done by the Economic Development Committee, which no longer exists in Sandwich, and then Jay Patikos, who's our past director of the chamber, kind of took that over, maintained them, got new maps and stuff. So that's where that QR code is going to go on those.
Oh, that would be good.
Yeah, so between the Sandwich Chamber and us, we're
So just a little more history of the town crier board. They actually started through a woman by the name of Catha McGuire on the, I call it historical commission.
I found that out,
Yeah, and she was up in Vermont, and she called me. She got back from, she went to Vermont. She and her husband would go to Vermont a lot, and she called me and she goes, I saw they have these things. Why aren't we doing this? And I think I was on the VSB at the time.
You were.
And that's why she called me.
Yeah.
And we talked about it, and I thought, what a great idea. And originally, the one that's across from the library was actually on the library lawn.
Yeah.
It's actually in a better location now, I think.
Yeah.
But it's hard to find people to maintain them. It's hard to, and the other thing too is you got to keep them up because of our weather,
Yeah. Well, like the community board is at the wing school. I don't really know what's going to happen once the wing school is developed, if we can
You mean the latter one?
The latter one,
yeah.
And then the community board in front of the annex, I heard the annex might get sold, so I'm not sure if we can keep that on town property or to move it to the library or somewhere else, because that's, Main Street, as you know, is well walked.
Yeah.
So, and the board that fell down from Rod was at Tupper and Route 6A.
Oh, yeah.
So we have to make, of course, a new sign for that, but, is that the best corner for it? So, but everything, we're trying to find out where people will most use it, see the QR code, see the pamphlets for the biking and the walking.
Sure.
So, in the history.
There's one down at the marina, too, I think.
That got moved. That's actually the Tupper Road one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. I don't know why exactly it got moved, but probably I think because they were making the new office down there at the marina and stuff.
That's right. Well, see, now the new office would be the perfect spot. That would be the perfect
spot. Do
spot.
you know anyone that we could go to?
Well, I'm still trying to get an interview with the harbor master who was new 2 years ago.
Yeah. When you do, let me know.
Okay.
I'll put a plug in his ear then.
Yeah. So that's a big project.
Yeah.
That'll be a big project.
So between the chamber, Sandwich Chamber, us, and hopefully, the bike committee and the walking committee, history committee, we hope to get all that gelled.
Sure.
In that way, a lot of people could, be worthwhile to have that, what's down this part of Main Street or Tupper Road or, where's the where's the history homes, where's the old homes?
Yeah. Well, and what's funny is during COVID, what we noticed in our little neighborhood, and I always laugh and tell everybody I live across the tracks, in Town Neck, the houses that were empty all winter long, all of a sudden were occupied.
Yeah.
And all the big houses that have been built in that neighborhood, all of a sudden were occupied.
Yeah.
And they're still occupied, which I'm very surprised about. I thought they'd go back to where they came from, but they haven't. Yeah. So, we have visitors here, but now all of a sudden we've got all these year-round folks.
Seasonal.
Right.
Yeah.
So does your group, I mean, I understand what what the committee does. However, obviously you have to help those who are living here year-round and all of that as well, and newcomers.
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned newcomers in town. I was at the Sandwich Library this past summer and strolling around, and someone came up to me and was looking for directions. I guess I have a Chamber of Commerce billboard on me. So I was.
You look like you know what you're doing.
So I was telling
You're tall.
Yeah, I stand out, I'm tall. But they were asking me for restaurants and what was down at the marina and stuff. And I asked them where they were from and stuff, and they are one of those people you just talked about that lives down in over the railroad tracks.
Yeah, on the other side of the tracks.
Yeah, but here they are for a few months, though. They're not here for a week, just visiting.
Right.
And they're using our resources now. So, but they were out for their stroll learning about Sandwich, the town and village and stuff. But so I think our resources are going to be used more for knowing where to go, what to do. It's like all the plays and the readings and stuff like at town hall.
Well, they call it wayfinding,
Yep.
I used to laugh when I left Mashpee Commons and went to work for Heritage for half a second. There was a sign as you were leaving, and it said City Center. There was and I was like, who put this sign up? City, what? What city? There is no city. There's a village center. Yeah. You could put that,
Right.
It was the craziest thing.
That's
I think
odd.
it's down now. But wayfinding is a serious thing for communities, especially communities like ours.
Yeah. I mean, because we have such little, being in the chamber, you find out where the businesses is. They're all not downtown Sandwich.
Yeah.
You got 6A as you're going towards the Barnstable line.
Right,
which
East Sandwich,
the most motels, and you got, scenic routes, and then you go further and you got Riverview School and all that stuff. So we need to push people down there just to see the interest and to the beach and stuff.
Sure.
And then you go towards Sagamore, and you got that stretch of Sandwich.
Right. Right. And then out by where you live.
Yeah, I'm in Forest Hill.
Right. So 130. I mean, Katuah
you
Road.
Heritage Plaza, Canterbury, all those. And I mean, it's like every day I go over there, and it's like another little business there.
Oh yeah,
in that village there. So it's spread apart, so we're not all in one section, but to have people who are newcomer here, maybe for 6 months, I'm I never knew a restaurant was such and such down here, or the movie theater or whatever. And then when you go towards Sandy Neck, they go, "Where's Sandy Neck?"
Yeah, right. Well, and East Sandwich Beach is probably one of the. I mean, everybody who lives here knows about it, but. People who are coming in town, unless you're renting a cottage, you don't know that beach is there.
Oh, I know. It was funny because I was helping this past summer at the Sandwich Chamber during the summer, and this person came out and had this big fetish with bird watching. Mm-hmm. And she goes, "There's a beach in Sandwich that is strictly for bird watching," and she gave me the name of the bird, and I'm going, "I don't know," right? So anyways, we're Googling, and I'm like, "Yep, it was Sandy Neck."
Really?
It was Sandy Neck.
And also, we have the bird farm now, which is part of Thornton Burgess. Yep. So that's another whole thing that most people don't know about.
We have hidden treasures.
In
Sandwich, and for someone who you and I, we work here, we play here, we eat here, and sometimes you just go to the same places all the time, and all of a sudden you get off the beaten track, and you can find these bird trails, and Sandy Neck has so much probably wildlife that you and I don't even know about.
I'm sure.
Yeah, and then the marina is, my husband's a boat enthusiast because Coast Guard.
Yeah.
So we go down quite a bit to watch the boats, but that is just unbelievable, the boat traffic down there in the summertime. And you sit there and you see the ships and you see the little boats, but just walking on the canal is, I know people that just come here just to do that.
Oh, I know.
Just to do that.
I mean, it's a wonderful resource for us. It really is.
So the VSB tries to help promote those things. That's our mission, is to help beautification. Well, speaking of Cather, the little islands in the middle of the road, all the little signs that you see, the VSB, which probably back in your time, when you were on the VSB, did those signs. They still do.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I didn't realize that. Yeah.
I mean, the landscapers do the landscaping that
I know.
But all those little signs. Yeah.
That was a really good idea of hers, by the way. Good job, Keitha.
She did. I mean, she's a one-man wonder.
Yeah, she
One-woman
is.
wonder.
Yeah. She's left Sandwich though. Now she's living in Bourne. So
Oh, is she? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. She moved to a condo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, but I think she spends a lot of time here.
Yeah, I think she checks up
her
on us.
roots are here.
I think she's checking up on us, especially me. Are you giving those signs to the new person?
Trust me.
She is.
I've known Keitha a long time. Yes. It's all good though.
Yeah.
It's all good
But,
for sure.
Here are the people that, retiring,
Yeah.
and can't live by themselves somewhat anymore, and they have to go to a condo or whatever. But we forget about the Keithas, and we forget about the people who started VSB.
Right.
Because before we had this interview, I actually went on and realized you were on the VSB, which I never knew.
For years.
And then, Bob King and so on and so
Right.
forth. But just some of the things that we still do today, like those signs and stuff,
Yeah.
we're still doing.
Yeah.
And, it's been
It's
quite a
all
while.
good stuff.
It is.
In the
It
long run,
is.
I think it is.
Yeah.
It's all good.
And to show the kids, like the Boy Scout and the Girl Scouts that did the garden stuff, to show them what they can do to give back to the community.
Right.
And then hopefully continue that as they get older.
Okay, so let's just wrap it up here.
Okay.
What do I do? Okay, I'm a nonprofit. I'm Melinda's Flowers nonprofit, right? I
Yep.
give flowers out to people.
Yep.
And I want a VSB grant.
Okay.
How do I get one?
Go onto the town hall's website, click on search VSB. Get onto that, click on it, and we'll say, do you want to request money? A grant. Click on that, fill out the form. You'll just send it back to the town hall, which comes to my email address, vsbchairman.com, at gmail.com. But you don't even have to send it to me. It goes right through the town.
Yeah.
And then we look at it, I look at it, I then will contact you and say, Melinda, next month we're having our meeting on the second Tuesday of every month, and you're invited to come and give your pitch
Okay,
on the flowers and give me some detail on it,
Okay.
the amount, and then we'll get back to you once the committee decides.
excellent.
Yeah, it's really simple.
So it's easy.
It is.
There's money out there, people.
I know. Yeah,
Come get it.
yeah, exactly.
And I think it's grown since I was there.
The pot of
The
money?
pot of money.
Yes, because the room tax has gone up too.
I know, right.
But I think.
Because when it was started, it was minuscule. And it was because of Sandwich
Yeah.
that when I was at Mashpee Commons, we started it in Mashpee.
Yeah.
And that was a big hoo-ha,
Yeah.
but
The
it got
average
through
amount
finally.
of money, if you took the average amount of years I've been there, the average amount of money is about 32 to 35,000.
That's every year?
Yeah.
That's a lot more than we
Well,
we
yeah, you
had.
get a couple thousand.
It was a few thousand,
Yeah. Yeah.
and we were, parceling it out as best we
Right,
could,
yeah. Which we do. We want to make sure that we don't keep giving to the same person
sure.
over and over. So
Of
that's why
course.
we like the Women's Garden Club.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds wonderful, though. That's
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Good to see you again.
Thanks,
It's not
you
like
too.
I don't know this woman. I know her pretty
Known her for a
doggone
little
well.
while.
Yeah, at least she didn't work on her cars, but
No,
we worked
no.
on the cars
I was just
together.
organizing it all.
That's right. That's right. Anyway, thank you so much.
Thanks,
Good to
Melinda.
see you.
You too.
Heidi Trottier, Chairman of the Visitor Services Board. Wow, what a great person. She's been president of the Chamber of Commerce of Sandwich, in Mashpee. My goodness, she's been everywhere. She used to have a business, now she's retired and she's doing things for the community. Isn't that terrific? We should all be doing those sorts of things. So I want to thank you for being with me today, and I'll see you next time on another Cape Conversations.